And a good Friday afternoon here, everybody. It is now time for the Scott Manning YouTube Sports Weekend Kickoff Show. I want to thank all of my loyal viewers for being with me here today. I've got a lot to talk about here in about the next half hour, but we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the show today for this special edition of the Scott Manning YouTube Weekend Kickoff Show. Let's have a great show, and we're going to jump into it right after this. Oh. All right, everybody, we're going to go right into it here. We have a lot to talk about here in about the next half hour or so, and I am so glad to have you guys with me here today. We're going to just jump right into the show, and let's go right into it. As many of you know, on Wednesday night, on Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Bucks clinched the NBA World Championship. It was a great night. I'm sorry, I meant on Tuesday night. The Bucks are the NBA World Champions for the first time in 50 years. Now, how did Giannis Antetokounmpo celebrate? He went on about 50 chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. That's how you celebrate. And that's what Giannis did, honestly. But I'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's have a review of Game 6. Giannis was a beast, and he earned MVP honors, and rightfully so. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 50 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks. You talk about a roadblock, you saw it. Chris Middleton, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Bobby Portis, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block. Drew Holiday, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals. He was just a stealer of the show. Brook Lopez, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal. Think about this. Those 5 players for the Bucks in Game 6, they were a combined 37 of 77 shooting for the game. 16 points off of turnovers. They dominated rebounds 53-37. Points in the paint. They took that 50-44. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they shot 45.1% from the field for the game. Now, despite the fact they only went 6 of 27 from beyond the arc, or 22.2%, they did very well at the free throw line, going 25 of 29. That was huge, and that was for 86.2%. That is how the Milwaukee Bucks won that ball game. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks had 6 blocks. 5 of those were by Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Phoenix Suns had a grand total of 4 blocks for the game. Now, Chris Paul, 26 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Wasn't enough. Devin Booker, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Jay Crowder, 15 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block. Not enough. DeAndre Ayton, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Not a good game for him. Cameron Payne, 10 points, 2 rebounds, and that was it. Devin Booker had scored over 40 points in the last 2 games, and the Suns lost. He only scored 19 in Game 6. They could have used another 30 to 40 point performance from Devin Booker. Then that would have forced a Game 7. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. The Phoenix Suns were up 2-0, and I'm thinking, all right, they've got this almost. Everybody was thinking, all right, we got this wrapped up. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he just played better and better and better with each game. The Milwaukee Bucks got it done. And I just want to extend my congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks and Coach Mike Boldenhausen for getting the job done in the NBA Finals. They did it, and they earned it. But to the Phoenix Suns, you guys had a great season. You guys have nothing to hang your heads about. It had been 11 years since you guys made it to the playoffs. You guys got back and made it all the way to the finals. Unfortunately, it just came up a little short. But to Coach Monty Williams and the Phoenix Suns, congratulations on a great season. And this was a great NBA Finals. To be honest, everybody was thinking it was going to be a Lakers repeat. It didn't happen. Everybody was thinking it was either going to be the Lakers or the Nets or the Lakers or the 76ers. Nobody, but I will say this, though. Nobody was disappointed. This was a great series. A lot of people thinking it was anticlimactic. No, it wasn't. Giannis just kept playing better and better and better. And also, too, I'm going to say something. I saw this on Facebook the other day. Everybody was saying LeBron James, when he left Cleveland in 2010 to go to a super team, he made a complete idiot of himself. He would be a finals loser on a super team, and he was. Giannis in 2020, and think about this. Back in 2010, when the Cleveland Cavaliers were a 1 seed and they had a first-round exit in the playoffs, LeBron James left Cleveland to go to Miami. Yes, he brought home a couple of world titles for the Miami Heat. But he also knew he couldn't get the job done in the finals. Think about Giannis for a second. Back in 2020, the Milwaukee Bucks had a first-round exit, and they were the 1 seed in the playoffs. But you know what Giannis Antetokounmpo did? He signed a supermax deal to stay in Milwaukee. 1 year later, he takes the Milwaukee Bucks to the promised land. I'm going to say this too. The Milwaukee Bucks earned that NBA World Championship. It wasn't given to them. They had to come from behind in the series just to get the job done. And that's the truth of the matter. So my hat's off to the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the rest of the team, Coach Mike Boldenhausen. Congratulations. You guys are NBA World Champions. And also, for Giannis, did you enjoy those chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A? I know I shouldn't be asking that, but I got to have a little bit of fun. But you know something, though? The Bucks did it. And they may be the odds-on favorites to win it next year. So congratulations to the Bucks.
House of Pleasure. House of Pleasure.
Sorry I had to do all those sound effects, but they earned every single one of those. And they did. And that's the bottom line. All right. Let's move on. We need to talk some baseball news. And I'm going to tell you something. Everybody thought the New York Yankees were going to be back. They may not be. They may not be. Now, we have a 4-game set between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Last night, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 5-4 in 10 innings in one of the most idiotic ways possible. I'm just going to come right out and say it. The New York Yankees have no pitching. They don't. They've got to get some pitching help. They got to get Garrett Cole some help. Because right now, outside of Garrett Cole, the Yankees pitching is fantastic. And Aaron Judge, he's on COVID. He's on the COVID IL list. and the Yankees hitting can't, and the hitters can't do anything. But anyway, you know how it is. Last night, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 5-4. Tonight's matchup, this is the 7 o'clock MLB showcase game. Tonight, for the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole gets the start. He has a 10-4 record with a 2.62 ERA, 158 strikeouts this season. Now, who are the Boston Red Sox sending to the hill tonight? They are sending Eduardo Rodriguez, a 7-5 record with a 5.19 ERA, but he does have 112 strikeouts to his credit. Now, tomorrow's matchup, I find this one a little bit interesting. Jameson Taillon gets the start. He has a 5-4 record with a 4.60 ERA and 89 strikeouts to his credit. The Boston Red Sox are sending out Nathan Eovaldi, a 9-5 record with a 3.57 ERA, 106 Ks to his credit. Now who are the Yankees sending on Sunday? And I think this is the Sunday afternoon game on TBS, if my memory serves me correctly. I will double check that. But on Sunday, Domingo Germain gets the start. He has a 4-5 record with a 4.71 ERA and 80 strikeouts. And the Boston Red Sox are going to be sending Martin Perez, a 7-6 record with a 4.18 ERA and 74 strikeouts to his credit. I will say this for the New York Yankees. The Yankees are 5-2 since the All-Star break. And after losing last night, it could be the Yankees giving it away again. We don't know. The Yankees are still hitting .236 as a team. That's low for them in many, many years. Aaron Judge, he's still on the COVID-19 IL list, and they're missing him badly. Right now, Aaron Judge is hitting .281 with 21 home runs and 47 RBIs. And with all the COVID issues with the Yankees, manager Aaron Boone said that Giancarlo Stanton could play left field on Saturday. The New York Yankees right now, they lost last night. They have got to take the next three. They've got to take the next 3 games against the Red Sox to have any chance. If they want to prove they can get back into this American League race, they have got to do some things that they don't feel comfortable about right now. The Yankees are playing better right now, but after last night, Aaron Boone just felt like doing this, and I don't blame him. That is what Aaron Boone wanted to do last night, after the way that the Yankees gave it away. I even wrote down a comment on Facebook. Somebody said, "What is going on with the Yankees and these issues of giving it away late?" And I typed this comment down, and it's the truth. Outside of Garrett Cole, the Yankees pitching is horrible, and their offense ain't squat. Even without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are lost. And it's the truth. And everybody knows it. But on the other side, the Boston Red Sox are 4-2 since the All-Star break. They are proving to me why they're so good. Now, back in the first series back against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium after the All-Star break, the Red Sox only hit 172 as a team. And now they're back. And last night, the Red Sox did it at Fenway. Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, and JD Martinez have a combined 59 home runs and 189 RBIs this season. That shows you how good the Red Sox are. Bogaerts is hitting .312. You got Martinez hitting .305. And the pitching, you already seen 2 starters already have 100 strikeouts or more. That is why right now, if you're in a mood to buy, you'll be making a lot of money. And here's the deal. The Yankees-Red Sox series is a big one. Could this be a point? If the Yankees take the next 3, then they can prove to me that that they could possibly get back into this AL East race. If they get swept, which after what I saw last night, if they even get the Yankees have to win, they have to take the next 3 to prove anything to me. If they get a split, I'll be on the fence about a possibility of them catching the Red Sox in the AL East. And that's the facts. I'm not going to sit here and say anything that's not true. And people have been calling for Aaron Boone's job as manager. If this keeps up, he'll really be on. If the Yankees keep losing ball games like this, Boone will really be on the hot seat. His seat's getting hotter, but everybody knows it. He doesn't realize it, but it's starting to get there now. All right, let's go ahead and move on. I know it's rare that I talk about a series like this where two teams are kind of struggling, but it's the National League Central. And you'll see why I'm addressing this situation. The St. Louis Cardinals face the Cincinnati Reds in a very important 3-game set. Why is it important? It's very simple. The Cardinals are getting better. They're back above 500. They're still in third in the National League Central. But they're behind the Cincinnati Reds. And the Reds are going in the wrong direction. But this series is important because both the Cardinals and the Reds are trying to catch the Milwaukee Brewers. And I'm going to address the Milwaukee Brewers here in a few minutes. Be patient for that. But first, the pitching matchups for the Cardinals and the Reds, and these could be important. Tonight, the Cardinals will be sending Wade LeBlanc to the mound. He has an 0-1 record, but he has a 2.92 ERA and only 13 strikeouts to his credit. However, that could be important. The Cincinnati Reds tonight are going to be sending Tyler Mahle to the mound. He has a 7-3 record with a 3.93 ERA and 126 strikeouts to his credit. Could there be a big discrepancy? We don't know, but it looks like it on paper. However, anything can happen on any given night. The Saturday matchup, Jake Woodford will get the nod for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has a 2-1 record with a 4.06 ERA and 27 strikeouts to his credit. Who will he be facing and who are the Reds sending? They're sending Luis Castillo. Eh boy. He has a 3-10 record with a 4.39 ERA and 100, but he does have 104 strikeouts to his credit. I don't care about the 104 Ks. You have a 3-10 record, you're going to the minors. The Sunday matchup. Oh, yikes. The Cardinals send Johan Oviedo. He has an 0-5 record with a 4.81 ERA and 45 strikeouts to his credit. The Cincinnati Reds will be sending Sonny Gray to the mound. He has a 2-5 record with a 3.65 ERA and 66 strikeouts to his credit. This is going to be a pitching matchup. All these pitching matchups are kind of yikes. However, I will say this for the Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals are 5-2 since the All-Star break. And what have they done, sir, since the All-Star break? They took the Giants. They took 2 of 3 from the National League West leading San Francisco Giants. They took 3 out of 4 from the Chicago Cubs, a Cubs team that's been going in the wrong direction for the longest time. But think about this, though. Though for the Cardinals, Kwang Hyun Kim. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's Kwang Hyun Kim. He's won 5 in a row. And since those 5 starts, those 5 wins, he's had an ERA of 0.90. I saw that the other day. And think about this. Think about Nolan Arenado and Dylan Carlson for a minute. Nolan Arenado is hitting 269. And you got Dylan Carlson hitting 258. Both those guys had home runs against the Cubs. And that's something to write home about. Whoever takes 2 of 3, whoever wins this series, you got to take. It doesn't matter which team it is. You got to go for the sweep. You got to get a 3-game sweep to prove to me that you're back into the division race. But what about the Cincinnati Reds? I talked about the Cardinals. What about the Reds? Well, the Cincinnati Reds are 1-5 since the All-Star break. despite the fact that Nick Constellanos is hitting .329, and you got Jonathan India hitting .273 with an OBP of .401. I've never seen a Reds team look like they have a shot. Think about this. Right before the All-Star break, the Reds took 3 out of 4 from the Milwaukee Brewers on the road. And right now, they're seeing the struggles, and I just got to do this. If the Reds want to prove that they can want to win the National League Central and catch the Brewers, they got to get a sweep of the Cardinals. But if the Cardinals get a sweep, it could be bye-bye Cincinnati before we get out of July. And that's something to think about. And that's the truth of the matter. Okay. Let's move on. We have an interleague matchup we need to talk about. The Chicago White Sox face the Milwaukee Brewers in a very, very important 3-game set. I know it sounds odd. I know it's interleague play. However, we got 2 division-leading teams facing off in a very important matchup this weekend. The White Sox lead the American League Central by a bunch. The Milwaukee Brewers are leading by about 5 or 6 games. But here's the deal. The Milwaukee Brewers can't hit. Are not really good power hitters right now. And I'm going to address that here in a few minutes. But we got some very, very good pitching matchups. For all three games of this series, all 6 of these players I'm going to mention have 100 strikeouts or more. But let's talk about the pitching matchup. Then I'm going to address a few other things. Tonight's matchup, and this is a big one. Lucas Giolito goes to the mound for the White Sox, and he will be facing Freddie Peralta of the Milwaukee Brewers. Lucas Giolito, he has an 8-6 record with a 3.90 ERA, 133 strikeouts. For the Brewers tonight, Freddie Peralta gets the nod. He has a 7-3 record with a 2.39 ERA and 135 Ks to his credit. The Saturday matchup, and this is the one I've got, and this is going to be the one worth the price of admission. For the White Sox, Carlos Rondon gets the start. He has an 8-3 record with a 2.14 ERA and 140 strikeouts to his credit. He will be facing Corbin Burns of the Brewers. He has an 8-4 record with a 2.16 ERA and 140 strikeouts to his credit. And then the Sunday matchup, and this is the matchup on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Lance Lynn gets the start for the White Sox. He has a 9-3 record with a 1.94 ERA and 109 strikeouts to his credit. Brandon Woodruff. He has a 7-4 record with a 2.04 ERA and 137 strikeouts to his credit. All three of these pitching matchups are going to be worth the price of admission, people. I'm not going to say this, and I may enjoy this one.
House pleasure.
I'm looking forward to this weekend in Milwaukee. I think a lot of people are too. And you better believe the White Sox fans are going to travel from Chicago to Milwaukee for this one. And think about this for a minute. Since the All-Star break, the Chicago White Sox are 4-3. They're playing much better. You got Tim Anderson. He's hitting .312. Jan Moncada. He's hitting .279 with an OBP of .401. That is huge. Those are huge numbers. The White Sox are just putting up huge numbers right now. And Yermin Mercedes, he said he was going to take some time and step away from the sport of baseball. How long did that last? Oh, one day. Mercedes says he's back. Now keep in mind, Mercedes was sent to the minors when he was having his struggles this season. However, he's starting to play better. Will we see him again back in a White Sox uniform? We don't know. But at the end of the day, the White Sox are playing better. But what about the Milwaukee Brewers? Now, keep in mind the Brewers are 3-2 since the All-Star break. However, they're still hitting a National League worst .223. And think about that. You want to talk about the tale of the extremes? Think about this for a minute. Avisail Garcia, the best hitter that the Brewers have, he's hitting 257. Jackie Bradley Jr. Right now, Jackie Bradley Jr., we need to send him to the minors because right now he's only hitting 177. And that's it. This three game set at Miller Park is going to be a big one. And nobody has idea how huge it is. It's going to be on ESPN. The Sunday game is going to be on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. That's a huge deal. But all three of these pitching matchups, we're going to be in for a pitcher's duel in all three games. Because you're just looking at the numbers, looking at everything, that's the way it's going to be going, everybody. And that's the bottom line. And that's the truth of the matter. Enjoy this 3-game set in Milwaukee. Because you know I'm going to be. Okay. Let's talk some NASCAR. Now, the Indy cars are still off for another couple more weeks. But the NASCAR Cup Series has a couple of weeks off themselves to give them a little break. But last Sunday at New Hampshire, it was a great race. Despite the rain came, Kyle Busch finished last. You couldn't make me any more happier. But however, here were the top 5 from last Sunday's race at New Hampshire. Eric Almirola came home the winner. Christopher Bell finished second. And then you had the Penske squadron of Brad Keselowski third, Joey Logano fourth, and Ryan Blaney fifth. But I have some major news on Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski has announced he is leaving the Penske team, and he's going to go drive for Roush Fenway Racing in 2022. So what's going to happen to the Blue Deuce that everybody likes to call it? Likes to call it the Penske number 2? Well, that's going to be taken over. That car is going to be taken over by Xfinity driver Ryan Cindric. He will be driving for the Penske team in 2022. But that's not the only major NASCAR story to come out of New Hampshire last weekend. Hendrick Motorsports has decided to extend the contract of Kyle Larson through 2023. That is huge. And here's why. Kyle Larson's won 3 races in a row, and he's leading the points. He has the points lead. Could this be enough for him to ink a longer deal with Hendrick in the future? We don't know. But as far as Eric Almirola, I want to address Eric Almirola here. The reason why I want to talk about that is Almirola scoring an upset victory really shaked up the chase for the playoffs in the NASCAR Cup Series. It's just unbelievable. What he did last Sunday is shake everything up. Now guys who haven't won a race yet, like Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, they got to win. They got to get some wins. And their next best bet, Watkins Glen on August 8th. The Cup Series is off for the next couple of weeks. The Indy cars are not going to be back until the 8th of August at Nashville. You won't know what happens, but we will when the time comes. And that's the truth of the matter. There will be no motor racing for the next couple of weeks, which gives me a chance to kind of get some rest and relaxation as we get ready for the chase for the Cup and possibly the fall. And that's the bottom line on that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts. As the Major League Baseball deadline, as the MLB trade deadline gets closer, we got a week to go before the trade deadline. What will happen? There's a lot of things that could happen. And I think everybody knows it. But the truth is this. It's been a great run in the Major League Baseball season so far. The White Sox are leading the American League Central. Everybody thought it was going to be a little bit tighter. But it hasn't been. The New York Mets are still leading the National League East. But with Jock Peterson coming to Atlanta, could that shake things up? We don't know. But as the Major League Baseball season heads into August here, heads out of July and goes into August, we got a lot of huge storylines to follow. Can the Brewers keep up the momentum and leading the National League Central despite having the worst batting average in the league, in the National League? And you've heard those numbers. The issue's this. A lot of great players could be going to different uniforms starting next week. And that's going to be something to think about going forward. Before I go, everybody, I do want to make an announcement. That's why my closing thoughts were just a little bit shorter today. I want you guys to mark your calendars down. Next Friday at Friday night at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, I am going to be doing a YouTube trade deadline special. I'm going to let you guys know if there's any huge trades at the deadline. If there are huge trades before that, I will have a video for you guys to watch. But just keep in mind, the trade deadline is next Friday at 4 p.m. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the special at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday evening before all the big ball games get underway. So Friday night at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, please join me for the Scott Manning YouTube Sports MLB trade deadline special. There could be some huge trades right at the deadline. The deadline is next Friday at 4 p.m. We'll see what happens. But the bottom line is this. We could see a lot of new faces in new places. That could happen. We don't know. But will it be as quiet at the trade deadline like it was last year? We'll have to wait and see on that. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this day. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name, scroll down, click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos I have done so far. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this day. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless. Goodbye, everybody, and I think.